Hi, today I shall be talking to you about a method I think that is really useful to drive traffic to whether it be your affiliate links or your website or your YouTube channel or your YouTube channels at that, or any other platform that you have an affinity with, whether to sell things or to actually get a bit more attention. Now, what the idea behind this is that this can help you either increase your sales or this can help you increase your list, the members of or the emails you have on your list, and maybe at some point increase the amount of customers that you might get in your desired niche. Now, one of the ways in which people do this often is they go onto different sites, the likes of Reddit, the likes of Twitter, the likes of Quora, the likes of LinkedIn, and a few others. I just named four of them that are widely utilized and very popular. And they tend to either put in information in there by writing about areas in which they have an idea about, or they answer questions that people are asking about on those forums or on those social media platforms. Now, the usefulness of this is that it helps you to rank on Google as what is termed to be user-generated content. So what happened before AI became quite big was that if you put in a keyword, I realize this is a long tail keyword, but this is probably how people ask questions as opposed to two words sometimes. Now, I've put in here how to increase social media engagement, and as you can see here, there's a snippet that comes up, but this is AI generated, and this is an AI overview from Gemini, I presume, because I'm on Chrome. And then you have a number of different listings about how you go about doing this, and it gives you what I feel are very good suggestions about knowing your audience, contests, respond to followers, post compelling content, ask questions. Now, within each of these various keywords or topics that will help you improve your social media engagement, there is a drop down, and if you click on the drop down, you can see where the sources come from. Now, the sources you can see here, for example, are from a blog and are from LinkedIn, and two from LinkedIn. So that tells you that these platforms are being used by Google still quite a bit, and they are actually referred to as UGC, user generated content, and sometimes they are given as much weight or as much credence as what you get from, or credibility as what you get on a blog, and sometimes even more, because it's one of these platforms, or these platforms are a conglomeration of different, or an aggregation of different ideas that people will go to and will want to read about. So if you come down here, you can see a few more suggestions on how to actually go about increasing your social media engagement, and you can see different blogs. The thing about the blogs is that if you're an authority site, that's all well and good, but it's been traditionally hard to rank, especially if the keyword is fairly competitive. If it's a keyword that is not that competitive, then maybe not. By the time you go to the second page, you can see a few more blogs, and you can then begin to see areas where some of these platforms or some of these social media sites are doing quite well. So you can see Reddit is on here, and if we go on here, we can see Buffer and LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn is an interesting one, very much like Reddit and Quora. But the thing about these platforms is that it takes quite a while for you to be able to go in, look for what you're looking for, and begin to actually answer questions or write information about what you know. To automate this process is always a very good idea, but how do you do it? What do you do to automate it? And once you've automated it, what assets can you utilize to help you begin to ensure that you get the visibility that you are looking for? So I came across this platform, and this platform is fairly new. is called BizReply.co. Now, BizReply.co says it is an AI social post finder and replier to promote your plugins, your brand, your SAS, or whatever you want to promote. So how it works, essentially what it does is that it goes in using certain scraping methods. It looks for, using the keywords that you put into it, looks for people who have asked questions, and what it uses AI to actually reply those questions, and then you can then go and post the replies that you have from these artificial intelligence answers onto these platforms, thereby increasing your visibility or giving the ability to include things like your links or things like your ideas. And this will then enable people begin to understand what you do and where to find you. So that's what it does in a nutshell. Now let's just jump into the platform and have a look. So this is it. I've already started with 2 projects. When you come into the dashboard, on the left you see what it calls projects, and projects essentially are what you will actually call a particular niche you're working on. The keywords for any project, so if I take this project here, so the keywords I'm utilizing for that particular project, Say by Boss, which is my platform, which has to do with affiliate marketing, make digital marketing and making money online in general. You can see I've put in social media engagement, how to increase social media engagement, best social media automation tools, and how to automate social media responses. I just put those 4 in just because I was trying to find ways by which I could test the software. And then what you have is mentions. Now I have the actual agency plan here. When I'm finished, I'll show you what the actual cost of the software is, bearing in mind that this is on a lifetime deal. So you pay once, unlike a lot of the competitors out there. This software will enable you utilize the features of it when you pay once, and it will enable you spread the different social media platforms that you can get access to. So mentions, when you come to mentions, what happens is that you can see all the different platforms that you can actually access and you can actually scrape information from. So you got Reddit, LinkedIn, Twitter, Quora, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, and TikTok. So that's 8 of them. Most of these platforms actually only offer you 1 or 2. So to have access to 8 platforms is pretty amazing. Now the thing about different niches is that, as you know, different niches tend to more than normal associate with particular platforms. So I have to say that sometimes when you look at the searches that have been done, you might not always get as relevant a topic from the searches, but that should not deter you. What you should do is just utilize the specific platform that will get you the best kind of response. And then what happens is that you can actually have prompts that you can utilize to answer some of these questions that have been raised in the keywords that you have utilized. So what happens is, off the bat, you have a prompt that has come through and has been created. So that is a default prompt. I'll show you the default prompt. These 2 prompts I created myself. So insightful social media prompt. As you can see, this has a formal tone. I've used an engaging tone, and I've used a formal tone. And also within this, I have specified that I do not want any of my information, no brand name or no links per se, or no nothing that is self-promoting within the nature of this prompt. But I'll show you what it looks like when you answer questions. Now the replies, as you can see here, I have not really saved any replies per se, and you will be able to save the replies that you actually utilize. So the first project I will talk about is the project I'm actually in, that's actually in relation to my brand, which is Say by Boss. And you can see here the keywords I've used for that. So when we go to the mentions, you can see the actual, like I showed you before, the mentions or the platforms that you are actually searching. The first one is Reddit. So it says struggling with low blog and Facebook engagement, you need tips. So let's have a look at the post. So what happens is we open up the post. That's what the software enables you to do. You open up the post and it says struggling with low blog and Facebook engagement, need tips to boost visibility. This is a very legit question, and as you can see, it's got 11 replies on Reddit, and it's been upvoted 3 times. So now what will be useful here is that you can go in and you can answer this yourself. I mean, I have my ideas about some of the ways that will help, but let us see what the AI will do. I have to say one thing though. This software relies on you utilizing your own key and bring your own key. So you can utilize any of the free APIs that are available out there. As it stands now, I'm using Gemini, and I think it's Gemini 1.5 Pro. I think it's free at this time of speaking for what I'm utilizing it for. At least I've not been charged, but you can use your open API key. Now, what happens, or what you tend to do here, is you'll come in and you'll have a look and see what it's actually being asked, and you can then generate a reply using this. Now, I have used my own prompt, because like I showed you that I created a prompt, not the default prompt. But if I were to use the default prompt, you can see what it says here for my own prompt. It says B2P engagement is a different beast. Remember, I did not want a formal tone, and so that's why it will use language like this. Instead of chasing numbers, focus on building a community. Think targeted content, industry discussions, and genuine interaction. It's about quality over quantity. What is your niche? So this enables you have a back and forth, and I believe that maybe I might use a different set of words in the beginning. By a different beast is quite catchy, but I could say it's a different challenge, or a different problem, or a different set of rules, and I could present it that way, so I could edit it. But what I like about what the prompting has done, it's asked what is your niche, and so by doing that, you actually foster engagement, and this might become a much longer thread. Bearing in mind that this might be one of the threads that you might be able to rank or float onto or put onto Google, because people are more engaged and more interested in it. Now, if you see, I'm going to change the actual prompt I use. If I use the default prompt that comes with, what happens with the software is that a default prompt is already written for you. I can generate a reply, and the reply will be slightly different to what I have here. So it says here, it can be tough to gain traction in the B2B space. Have you explored any AI-driven marketing tools to help streamline your content and scheduling? Might be what a look. Say by boss.com. So the prompt has actually put in my website address, and if you remember, in the prompt prior to this, there was no website address or no information at all. So that is what this does, and you can go on in. You can see that it's then produced a number of different responses. So what you do is you go down and you look to see if there is any one that is relevant to what you are actually interested in. I also put other prompts, as you can see, AI. So the list of keywords, these keywords are short keywords because I was just testing it. So I put AI here, and let me see if I go to the next page. You can see engagement. I wanted to see whether the very short keywords might be a better fit, or whether longer keywords. And based on my own analysis, I think the longer keywords are probably better because they are more specific. With the shorter keywords, sometimes it tends to be more it tends to bring out information on certain platforms that might not be relevant to the niche in which you are looking at. And so what you want to do sometimes is maybe have a bit more information that is actually within the within the keywords that you're using. So that's how it works in a nutshell. And what this would enable you to do is, you can imagine using the artificial intelligence replies, you can then begin to build a rostrum of different people who will understand who you are and begin to follow you and drive traffic to your links. Bearing in mind that you can edit and you can actually put information within your links. Now, what is the price, or what does this cost? Let's just go to the sales page so you can have a look. This is what it is. Like I said to you, it's on a lifetime deal. Early bird lifetime deal ends in a number of days, in 0 days, 3 hours and 38 minutes. I brought this to you late because I think the price is about to go up, so I'm not sure what the price will be when you actually are watching this or when you see this. But right now, the price is $59 for the lifetime deal. Now, what would that enable you to do? You can have 5 keywords that you can track. As you can see, I had 4 keywords on there. You'll have 200 AI replies per month, and you can have 50,000 mentions, which is a lot. 50,000 mentions are the actual information that it finds using your keywords that comes back to you. You can have 1 brand project. So if you just have 1 brand, or you just have yourself, then this is more than sufficient for you. 1 year history storage. Bring your own API key. So this is where you actually put your API key, which is what actually helps generate the responses. And you can multi-language and custom prompts. The only difference between each of these different tiers, like you see here, is the number of mentions, the number of AI replies, and the amount of keywords that you can utilize. Pretty much most of the other stuff is the same, but it's just scalable. So for example, you can have 3 team members and the $99 lifetime deal startup plan, but you have 10 team members here. So it just depends on what you want to utilize this for, and how many types of queries or how many keywords that you think you use at any particular time, given point in time. Remember, you can have a set of keywords, and then you can delete a set of keywords, and then you can add other keywords. So you don't have to use all of them at the same time. So you don't really have to go for anything too expensive. You can just get something a bit cheaper and start up with, and then if you think it's good for you, then you can upgrade. So where do you find information about the what to do within, or how the software works? They have a very active Facebook group which you can join, and when you get in there, you can ask questions. In my opinion, they've been highly responsive, and they have come back to me when I've asked questions about the software. Right, so this is the prompt. This is the prompt screen. On the prompt screen, I showed you this before. If you want to edit, like the prompts we had before were very short prompts. If you want to edit the prompts and have a much longer prompt, what you do is you go into edit, and then you can select whatever number you want down from the list. So if you want 1,000 words, 1,000 characters, you can put that in. Remember that you can also, when you actually have the prompts written, you can also go in and edit and make them longer if you want to. You can also change the tone. Like, you remember when I showed you the engaging, ask a question, funny, for meeting, or none. So you can have all of that. So that's the first aspect of this. Now, to see what kind of LLM you can use, the kind of large language model you can use, you can go here and you can go to settings, click on settings, and go to mention settings. And if you come down here, you can see the different, you can see I'm using Gemini, like Gemini 1.5 Pro, like I said, but you have a number of them you can use as well. You can see ChatGPT, and you can see all of the other ones on there. So this is BizReply.co in a nutshell. It's a very good tool. I will highly recommend it. And like I said, because of different tiers, you can decide to go with a tier that suits whatever budget you have or whatever needs you have. but the automation and the ease with which you're able to write the replies, and the fact that you can do it on scale, and imagine the consistency and what the consistency might bring to your business in terms of improving your ability to actually get followers and customers by extension. I have a link down below for the actual uh, um, link you can use, which is my link for the to buy the product or to buy BizReply. And I also have a code that you can get 10% off. Say by boss, you can just use that code within the link, and you get 10% off the price whenever you see it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Please click on subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you like my video. Bye.